Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ, and welcome to the Houston Oilers franchise. In today's episode, we will get our first look at the upcoming draft class. Now, one strong suit of this class is definitely quarterback and offensive line. These are the two biggest and strongest positions in this draft. As you can see right here, 7 of the top 10 prospects are all quarterbacks. This is a huge quarterback draft, and I think this makes it even a bigger year for DTR. Can he figure it out here in season 1? And maybe the Houston Oilers will pass on a quarterback in the draft. I sent an area scout out to go scout our first prospects for us. And we went to the University of Clemson, where we got to see a couple of good prospects. Let's start with the quarterback first. Brian Woodard is a projected mid to late first round quarterback. Now, the rest of the NFL thinks that the best fit for Woodard are the Houston Oilers. So this guy, let me just talk about him for a second. He can move around in the pocket. He's got a decent to pretty good arm. He's got pretty good athleticism. He fits our system pretty good. And looking at kind of his ratings right now, he has good to great acceleration, good to great strength, change of direction is good to great, agility is good to great, throw power is solid to good, and he can throw on the move and under pressure at a high level. Now, will we go after him in the first round? That will remain to be seen. Then we ended up going and looking at tight end. Kyle Forden is one of the top guys on my board, to be honest with you. He has excellent size. He's a round 3 to 4 projection, but he has the size at 6'6". He can definitely run the vertical route if you need him to. Now, where he does struggle, though, is with pass protection. So we're definitely going to have to work on that with him. But he is elite with his strength, great to elite strength and great to elite agility. So he's going to be able to move around a little bit. And I think one thing that we're going to have to do with him is develop that pass blocking, but he's going to be a guy that can block for the run really well. And I bet you Antonio Gibson would be very, very happy about drafting him. We go to the defensive side of the ball in the first draft story of this entire series in Bobby Ford. Now, just last week, we got this over the feed here, the news feed, the nation's most dangerous prospect. With a background in wrestling and MMA, Bobby Ford looks to channel his aggression and technique into becoming a top right end in the upcoming NFL draft class. So he was a former professional MMA or a boxer at the age of 17 or 18. He decided to hang it up and go play football instead, and it has definitely worked out for him. It's been 3 years of developing. He's now a senior, and he is turned into one of the best pass rushing prospects on the board in the NFL draft coming up this year. One thing that he will need to work on, obviously, is that experience and really that technique, because he does bring that experience with hand fighting, but I think that needs to turn into actual football moves. He gets off the ball very great to elite acceleration, but the power moves come in at a D, so he will definitely need to work on that. His finesse moves, like I said, that athleticism and that hand fighting, he's really, really good at that. But one guy I really, really like is his teammate Max James, who is a projected second to third rounder. He is 6'3", about 270, but he is a monster off of the ball. He has excellent burst. He gets after the quarterback, and opposite of what we see from Bobby Ford, James really has elite power moves. And one thing you'll see with him is he gets off the ball quickly as well. Great to elite acceleration, and then A, power moves, B, play recognition, and B, tackling. I know he's going to be a good defensive lineman, and I'm really, really looking forward to finding out more about these prospects as the season goes on. So there you have it, our first look at the NFL draft prospects, and we look at ahead to the season ahead of us, and we're almost through the first 6 games or so, and we will get through that here in this episode. But right away, DTR and Antonio Gibson are having themselves a good start. In this episode, as you know, DTR has a breakout opportunity. but he could not have done that without the running game. Antonio Gibson has been amazing, but also developing a go-to wide receiver, and I think I'm finding that quickly with Marvin Mims Jr. He is a star development. It's been revealed that he is star. He was hidden dev trait before, and he did have already a speed upgrade to 93 speed, and he had a breakout game last episode versus the Chargers. Robert Tonyan really did surprise us as well, as he was very, very good. He was at about 170 yards. I thought he was going to break 200 in that game. I mean, he was tremendous. But a big boost goes to Laviska Shenault, because this guy was incredible. He stepped up. He got the start over Sky Moore, and he didn't look back. He had 5 quick receptions in the first quarter, and he didn't have any for the rest of the game, but it really set the tone. But as we get further and further into the season, our defense needs some help. So I need to make some moves in order to build for the future. I don't know if we're going to be competing for the rest of the year, but one guy that is a veteran that could garner some interest is Logan Ryan. But looking at the trade packages that we could get for him, remember we have the difficulty on hard for trading, and we don't get any offers at all. But I think one team I am looking at here are the 0-4 Packers, which we will see in this episode right here. And I'm looking for just around a 4th round pick for Logan Ryan, nothing special. And then maybe a depth linebacker like Isaiah McDuffie, a young guy who I can develop, because you never know when injuries will come. We've been pretty fortunate not to have too many injuries. Tyree Wilson's got shaken up a couple of times, but besides that, we haven't had too many injuries. Well, coming off of that game last episode, we actually had a breakout opportunity. The whole team got 2,500 XP. So we have a ton of upgrades, but I do want to highlight a couple of those, starting with Thaddeus Moss. Thaddeus Moss has gotten in a little bit in the passing game. He's got a few receptions this year already. Nothing too big, but he's a good depth tight end. He goes up +1 in speed. That's Randy Moss's son, if you are not aware. J-Ron McAllister, the undrafted running back, he's having a pretty good season so far as the number 3 on the depth chart. He's gotten in quite a bit as well. Chase Brown will have to really develop as the backup running back right now, because remember, he is going to be the guy if Antonio Gibson goes down. It's going to be Chase Brown, so we definitely need to make sure that he's in shape and ready to go. Julian Okwara was the guy that we drafted from the Detroit Lions in the expansion draft. I have not seen any impact from him, but he's been on the field quite a bit. Right now, he's listed as the number 1 pass rusher in pass rushing situations. Our offensive line has been great, though. Robert Hainsey definitely does contribute to that. He's 25 years old, too, so we have like a decently young offensive line. They're all in their mid-20s. 25, I believe, is the youngest. Josh Jones might be 24, but I think he's actually 25. AJ Epinesa is a 24-year-old defensive end. We snagged him from the Bills, but I have not seen any impact from him yet. I'm looking to see who's going to step up in that pass rushing room. And then there's Kevin Dotson, who has literally probably been one of the best players on the entire team. Goes unspoken, but running the football, he doesn't even have good running ratings here, but he has been making an impact on Antonio Gibson's numbers. So the storyline heading into this episode was that DTR had a breakout opportunity after that huge game. He won AFC Player of the Week versus the Chargers. It was a shootout, 47-40. He put up major stats, and he'll look to break out in this game. He is normal development, so he must throw 1 or fewer interceptions and have 300 scrimmage yards, or 3 total touchdowns with Dorian Thompson-Robinson to increase his dev trait to star. So can we do that today? We will have to see as we go up against a winless Packers team. So if there's any chance to do it, it's versus a winless team. We'll see how difficult that will be today. But just looking at the numbers from last week, he had 25 completions, 3 touchdowns, 3 through the air, 1 on the ground. So the Packers defense, as we're going to focus on just the offense in this game, they rank 22nd in pass yards given up, so maybe we can take advantage of this secondary. So here we go, right here on the first drive. His DTR starts out here at his 25. Here is a read option. He keeps it, and he will fall down. Now, I did find out that not every quarterback can slide. Some of them do, but it's literally some of them just fall down. 3rd and 5. Here's a quick throw across the middle. That's Kyle Phillips, his college teammate, who gets the first catch of the game. It's a gain of 14 yards. Phillips has really played a big role in this offense. If you notice, he's been quite the chain mover. As here's Laviska Shenault, who gets the jet sweep right there. A little touch pass. He fumbles, but I think he was down anyway. But we get a couple more yards on the fumble recovery. Across the 50 now. Here's DTR in the pocket. Throws left side. I thought that was the Bob Tonyan, but Antonio Gibson is right there. 3 of 3. 53 yards on this first drive for DTR. At the 32 now. Fresh set of downs again. Here's a throw across the middle. It's Antonio Gibson to the 5. Tackle at the 3. It's a 1st and goal. DTR 4 of 4 for 82 yards. And wow, we have moved on this drive quite a bit. So we have not wasted any time here on the opening drive. Here's DTR. Play action fake again. He throws and it's a touchdown. It's Bob Tonyan who was wide open in the flats. What a perfect play call. You would think we would give the ball to the league's leading rusher in Antonio Gibson. Instead, it's a play action fake and Tonyan's wide open in the flats. So a good start to this one. He's got 1 of his 3 touchdowns. That's one of the paths we can take to get this star upgrade. And there's Antonio Gibson. He gets a gain of 6 right there. 2nd and 4. The Packers rush 4. Here's a quick throw to the sideline. And Gibson getting going in the passing game. DTR is 6 of 6 to start this game. How about Gibson? 3 for 47. That's like his normal rushing numbers. We get 3 bunched up here on the right side. Here's a quick throw to the right side. It's picked off. Eric Stokes with the interception. Gibson dives. It's a pick 6 the other way. Well, the Packers take advantage right there from the pressure. DTR gets hit on this throw, and it's just a wobbler, a duck in the air, and it's intercepted. That was easy. It was supposed to be to Tonyan at a bullet, and instead it's just floated, and it's 7-7. So here we go. Antonio Gibson starts on the next drive with the stretch play to the right side. He puts on a juke move and gets about 12 yards on that carry for the first down. He's already approaching 100 yards in total yards, as he only has 22 on the ground, about 50 through the air. Here's another play. Here's a handoff, and there's Gibson. He takes off. He's down the left side, and he picks up a big gain of 18. 6 for 41 for Antonio Gibson. This offensive line just knows how to block. Here is a rollout design play. Here is Antonio downfield. That's going to be Marvin Mims, actually. DTR hits him. Uh-oh. DTR is down. He's clutching. It looks like his ankle. And he's walking very gingerly to the locker room. Case Keenum checks into the game. We only carried 2 quarterbacks. As here's pressure right away, and it gets to him. It's a sack. Bilal Nichols gets there, and it's about a loss of 8. And Keenum gets sacked, but it turns out that DTR only has an ankle bruise. He was walking like that was a serious injury, but it looks like he will come back into the game at some point. 3rd and goal. Here's Keenum throwing to the right side. Marvin Mims, touchdown. He has it right at the goal line, and he will get the ball across. And how about Keenum coming off of the bench, gets sacked, but then comes back and throws a touchdown pass. It's 14-14. 4.5 minutes to go here in the first half. DTR checks back in, and there's that toughness showing there from our quarterback. He throws to Isaiah Likely. He's wide open for the first down. 200 yards of total offense. Remember, one of the paths we could take is to get 300 yards by DTR. This time he takes off. He's all alone. He falls down at about the 41, and that's a first down. You got to not forget about those legs. He's definitely got them. At the 22 now. DTR rolls to the right side. This time he takes off. He's going to outrun the defense right there. Kenny Clark was chasing him, and he gets to the 7. 55 yards rushing for DTR. 1st and goal now. We have not run the ball a lot here, but here's a quick throw across the middle. It's picked off by Quay Walker. DTR just with one of the worst throws today. Isaiah Likely was wide open, and I don't know how he missed this throw. Isaiah Likely's just sitting there, and that throw was terrible. I don't know what he was throwing at right there. I don't know if he just saw the defender and got spooked. Yeah, Antonio Gibson was open in the flats there, but Isaiah Likely, that was an easy throw. Well, now the only path we can take to get DTR that upgrade is by getting 3 total touchdowns. He's only got 1 so far. There is a catch right there for the first down. DTR throws, and that's another catch by Robert Tonyan, I should say. And he picks up a first down. We call our second timeout of the first half. DTR now in the pocket. 30 seconds to go. He throws deep to a wide open Kyle Phillips on the sideline. He's got it. They forgot about Phillips. That's a perfect throw by DTR right there, and Phillips gets out of bounds to stop the clock. 25 seconds to go here in the first half. DTR, quick throw. It's going to be Thaddeus Moss, who gets to about the 2. And I was just talking about how Moss has played quite the role. He's actually got in for some pretty good catches for first downs. Now it's set up here for a 1st and goal. DTR, pressure. He throws, and that's Antonio Gibson out of the backfield. Touchdown. Gibson can't stay out of the end zone. He can score through the air, on the ground. He could be the first Houston Oiler to get a contract extension this season. We have a ton of them to possibly offer because everybody's pretty much going to be a free agent. We're into the third quarter now. We're up by 4, 21-17, and there is Quay Walker with the stop in the backfield. Now at the 49-yard line, it's a 3rd and very long. Here is DTR scrambling, stopping. He will throw this one downfield, and that one is somehow caught. It looked like Phillips had the inside position over Darnell Savage, and it's a first down. Remember early in this episode, I offered a trade to trade Logan Ryan to get a 4th-round pick in Isaiah McDuffie, and Ryan would take the place of Savage. There's a throw on the run, and there is a incompletion, and that was a wide-open throw right there. DTR just missed him. We lose 5 after a penalty now for a 3rd and 16. DTR scrambles. He tries to just flip it to Tonyan, and it's knocked away. And it looks like the field goal unit will come onto the field. And we will knock it through Podlesny. And he comes through and hits that one. We're up by a touchdown. We move on here to start the 4th quarter. Remember, this is an offense-only game here. Here's Antonio Gibson with a stretch play to left side. He's approaching 100 yards with that run. 13 for 88. I mean, what kind of game is this for our team? I mean, we are putting up tons of numbers, but also turn the ball over. But we still have the 4-point lead. Here is Gibson, a big run. He breaks the tackle, and it's a first down. That run puts him over 100 yards, but Kevin Dotson is down. He is one of our highest-rated offensive linemen, and now he is shaken up. Hopefully it's not serious. Michael Dieter checks in at left guard. Here's a handoff. It's Gibson again. We're just handing the ball to him because he has been on a roll this drive. And he will pick up the first down. He was on a knee. I thought he was injured, but he was just celebrating. It's a 1st and 10 at the 20. DTR needs one more touchdown. He hesitates. He scrambles. He picks up a couple of blocks. He gets to the pylon. Star development is here. DTR will run in from about 20 yards out. And the Houston Oilers will take the 11-point lead here in the 4th quarter. How about DTR right there? Thinks about throwing the ball, picks up a block, and look at Tonyan downfield. One of the best blocking tight ends in the NFL. And it's now an 11-point game, and we get the ball back one more time with the chance to get some more insurance here at the end of this game. Here's a throw to the right side. That's an excellent catch, and that's Marvin Mims Jr. It's a first down. 5 minutes to go here in the 4th. DTR throws, and that is going to be caught by Laviska Shenault. He picks up a gain of 4. Now it's a 3rd and 6. Can DTR convert? Throw into the end zone. It's intercepted. There's Savage, and he was heard to be in trade rumors and maybe being replaced by Logan Ryan, and then he comes up with the interception. He must have heard us talking about him, and it ends up being the 3rd interception of the game for DTR. 31-26 to the winless Green Bay Packers. Here's a throw to left side, and that one's a wide open Kyle Phillips. He puts on a move and gets to about the 47-yard line for another first down. So DTR has 8 incompletions. 3 of those have been interceptions. Here's another handoff. Antonio Gibson stopped. And that's Kenny Clark right there as we're under 2 minutes to go. We're going to start to run this rock. Another handoff. Gibson to the left side. He gets stood up. And that is a third down conversion. But here we get into the 49. It's 4th and 6. We're going to try to put this game away for good. Here is DTR rolling to the right side. He throws deep, and it's incomplete. Rashawn Gary was giving chase, and we just decided to throw that one up to Kyle Phillips. We maybe had a short completion to Tanyan, and it's a turnover, but the offense actually turns the football over, and here comes DTR back onto the field. All we need is one more first down, and that's going to do it. Here's Gibson. Handoff up the middle, and it's a gain of 3. Green Bay calls their final timeout. 2nd and 7. Here's a handoff. Gibson runs over a defender, picks up the first down, and Houston will hold on here at home versus the winless Green Bay Packers. What a win by 5. The story is DTR will get the victory and the dev trait upgrade, and Jordan Love starts out his Packers career as starting quarterback 0-5. We talked about how deep of a quarterback class this is. I don't know. Jordan Love could be on the hot seat very, very quickly here to start this season as the Packers remain winless. But how about this? Another 100-yard game from Antonio Gibson. He has not won a game without going over 100 yards this season. He also led us in receptions today, 5 for 60 and a touchdown. He could be headed for an all-pro season, it looks like. Kyle Phillips, 4 for 93 today. That's a career high for him. And then defensively, I wanted to see what was happening there because we gave up 30 points, but we were actually coming up with turnovers. Jordan Lewis gets his first interception of the year, and it looks like Christian Barmore had 1.5 sacks. Jayon Brown had a sack, and Julian Aquara finally got into the mix there. He gets a half sack as well. So DTR gets that dev trait upgrade. I am excited to see what more he can develop into. And you guys have said that if you do some of the mini camp drills, not the mini camp, but the training drills, you might be able to get a dev trait upgrade by getting consecutive golds. So I will keep doing the pass skeleton with DTR and see if we do get that. And I will keep doing the Marvin Mims wide receiver red zone mini camp drill as well to see if we will get lucky and get one of those dev trait upgrades. That would be amazing. I'm not sure if we can trigger yet another scenario like that for an upgrade. Maybe it's once per year. Let me know down in the comments if you guys have seen more than one scenario like that in a year for a single player. But as far as I know, I've never gotten it. So we'll see if we can get one again. We go up against the one-loss Patriots, who are having a pretty good season so far. They are 4-1, and we're going to have our hands full. Mac Jones is having an amazing year. 13 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. We do have a few upgrades. Marvin Mims just continues to do well. And as I keep getting these drills with him, he's been developing. Like, he is turning into a legit number one for us. Obviously, we have a lot of season left. We are almost halfway through the season, but almost 6 games is there just about at the trade deadline at week 9. But we'll see how that development goes. But hopping into this Patriots game, this will just be highlights. So we did play the moments in this one, and coincidentally, they gave us pretty much all offensive moments. So this was pretty much an offensive episode we're seeing, but we'll see what happens in today's episode as we highlight, or this game as we highlight this Patriots matchup versus a hot 13 touchdown, 3 interception Mac Jones at quarterback. We'll see what happens here as you start the first quarter here on this opening drive. Here in the red zone, here is DTR under pressure, throws to the end zone, looking for Laviska Shenault, cannot find him, and it's incomplete. It's 4th and 2. We're going to line up to go for it instead of kicking the field goal. It's a triple option call. DTR tries to keep it, and he pitches it at the last second, and it's a fumble recovered by the Patriots. and they get the opening drive stop. Then Mac Jones goes the distance, 7-0, to give them the lead. And here we go, back on offense. Here is a run play to the right side, and Antonio Gibson's already at halfway to the century mark all the way through the first quarter. Gibson's having himself an amazing year at the 3 as he gets the handoff. He jukes to the inside and gets hit hard, but keeps it. It's a touchdown. Matthew Judon hit him in, and we will tie this ball game up on our second drive of the game. About 4 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Here's Gibson. Some more carries for him as he is just on a roll so far this game, but he comes up limping on that play. It looked like he was celebrating, but it looks like he will actually be okay as he does return to the game later. It ends up being just a minor injury. But here on the play action fake, here's Marvin Mims, wide open downfield. It's a touchdown. He absolutely toasted that man coverage, and he ends up like with 6-7 yards of separation. I don't know how the Patriots would leave him wide open. They should have seen the scouting reports. So now under 30 seconds to go here in the first half. Here's a throw out to the right side. It's Gibson who checks back in, and he will get the catch for the first down. DTR on a roll to start this first half, now up by 7. Play action fake at the 16. Here's DTR rolling. He throws on the run to the end zone. It's caught. It's Tonyan again. He can't stop scoring touchdowns. Who would have thought going into this season that Robert Tonyan would be one of our leading catchers here in this series? And so far, Tonyan has shown that maybe he is going to stick around for the long term. He's 29 years old. We're going to have to make a decision on him at the trade deadline. We're up by 10 here in the fourth quarter, and Antonio Gibson gets in again. How about this dominance here from the Oilers? I think the Patriots were surprised at how well we could move the ball in offense. And now the Patriots have one last shot here late in the game after a touchdown. And it's Kyle Phillips recovering the onside kick. And the Oilers will win this one 30-20. Another victory. That makes it 3 straight. Our first win streak of the series. I'm not sure if this level of play will keep up, but this at least gives you hope for the future. DTR was amazing in today's game. 20 of 29, 2 touchdowns, and he also ran for 19 yards. He did fumble once, obviously, on that pitch, but Antonio Gibson continues his 100-yard game streak. It stands at 6 now. He had 57 yards receiving off of 5 receptions also. And then Marvin Mims went for 5 for 62 and a touchdown. And then Robert Tonyan gets into the end zone as well. And how about Christian Barmore? He's now had 3 straight games with a sack. I think we're starting to see something out of him, as that was the hope. He was the number 2 overall pick in this entire expansion draft. So that is just amazing to see. So looking at our schedule, through the first 6 games, I think we have had kind of a light schedule. We have the Bears and Lions coming up, but then weeks 9 through 17, it gets tough. I'm talking tough. Giants, Jets, Dolphins, Chiefs twice, the Vikings, the Chargers, and then the Broncos. We do have the Colts the second to last week, but that is the only kind of lighter game we have for the remainder of our schedule, and you can't take anybody for granted. Who knows what's going to happen? But I think we have benefited a lot from having an easier schedule through the first 8 weeks. But the second 8 weeks is going to be the true test. Like, can we continue these winning ways? We have 4 wins, which I would say that would actually bump us out of the number 1 pick spot, because I don't know if the Packers are going to win 4 games for the rest of the season. They have a while to go, but still, anything could happen. So far in the NFL, we have the number 1 offense in terms of yardage, and it's not even close. Like, we are leading by like 600 yards total. And then on defense, we are literally bottom 5 in yardage. We are 4th in 20, I guess 4th worst in yards given up. But look at this. I mean, we just need help on defense. We are one of the worst teams as far as turnovers. We are, I believe, getting the second fewest sacks. And then we get to go up against Justin Fields. I mean, a guy that is the hardest to sack probably in the NFL. So I can't wait for the next episode. I'm very, very curious as to how our defense will show up against Justin Fields, and we will get back to normal gameplay. I like to do these doubleheader episodes where I play the game fully, and then the next game we'll just do highlights. So I'm guessing that's what we will do next episode. We'll have the full Bears game, and then I will show highlights of the Lions game because I'm just more interested in playing the Bears than the Lions. Obviously, we will play both, but I will show the highlights of the Lions and show the full game of the Bears. How about the Bears overall? They are 81 offense, 80 defense, and 80 overall. That is a good team. So we will see how this will fare out. They're 2-4, we're 4-2. So this should be a good one. Hit subscribe, hit that like button. Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.
Boy, all that like Keenan. Still got crack, they fiendin'. Flow still hot like Phoenix. Shine so bright, I'm gleaming. This off top, I'm tweaking. Fresh out the rat like Neiman. And I'm still tryna fight my demons. Cause we all gotta act like Tina. That's why I gotta ride with the Nina. Outside, it's a war going on.